So hello everyone, Grossy here, welcome back. Today we've got another episode of the Unhuntables podcast series with Christopher.
Hello.
Today we're hunting through 20p coins, looking for NIFCs, territories, any other sort of world coins, whatever else might turn up in the coin bag, but really we're just trying to find that NIFC. One day it'll happen, won't it?
Fingers crossed.
Definitely. I'm really excited. I don't think I've been this excited in a long time, because if you watched Christopher's part of the video, you would know that at the very end I sort of hinted on the next conversation.
You revealed that you have information about the 2023 mintage figures and what's in the long store at the Royal Mint. So before you explain that, I want to make a prediction as to what the contents of your freedom of the information.
Okay, you go for it. That's not exactly what I said, but go for it.
I think the response is regarding what's in the long store. This is sensitive information. We can't tell you, or it's the Treasury's coins. We don't know what's in there. You need to speak to the Treasury. And regarding the mintage figures, I bet the answer is they will be released imminently.
Okay, so
and if that is what they said, you're full of baloney, and you've teased us all into a non-story. So
would you like
the floor is yours?
Hear
the floor is yours.
Would you like to hear my email to them?
No,
would you like to just jump straight in?
We can gather. Jump straight in.
I will summarise. Basically, I just said to them, I'm a coin collector interested in learning more about the coins currently in the long store. I'd like to request the specific quantities of each coin design and denominations currently held in the long store. For example, how many of each coin are held, for example, and then I've just put 4,030,000 2022 dated Britannia £2 coins. So obviously we know that they haven't been released yet, so there must be the full mintage figure in the long store. Okay, and I also said, I understand mintage figures for 2023 and 2024 have not been published. I would be grateful if this information can be provided. Their reply, we can confirm that we hold information falling within the scope of your request.
But
we are refusing your request under section 31(1)(a) of the Freedom of Information Act, which relates to information whose disclosure would be likely to prejudice the prevention or detection of crime.
What?
That's their refusal. Basically, they're saying by telling me what's in there, it might lead to, or it might prejudice. It is what it is. It might cause me to give that to the wrong person, then plan a heist of the Royal Mint.
Right.
I'll come on to that again in a second. Regarding mintage figures for circulating coins, and this is, I didn't lie, I said the truth. The Royal Mint publishes this information annually in its annual report and also on its website. 2023 mintage figures will be published later this year.
There we go.
So that's confirmation of what I said before. So in answer to your question, you said, will they be released this year? I said they've confirmed they'll be published later this year.
Right.
So I'm taking that as
you've cheesed us and then
no.
given us
what I would say as well, they have obviously you can appeal if they refuse to disclose information. So they've confirmed that it is under their sort of branch, if you like, because they said they hold information relating to my query. Again, just to summarise, what I said was the layout of the Royal Mint site, the location of the long store, and the fact that it contains, open quotes, around £90 million worth of coins are already public knowledge, as shared during the Royal Mint Experience tours, which members of the public can attend.
Yeah.
And I said, in fact, it's quite a contradiction to publicly reveal the total amount on the Royal Mint tour, but then withhold information regarding the specific coin designs and denominations which make up that account. This inconsistency undermines the argument that revealing specific quantities would pose a significant security risk. Essentially, we know how much is in there.
We know, it's just we don't know the makeup. I guess
that's it.
If you used to play devil's advocate and try and think how is that a security concern, could you say, well, if they know there's lots of £2 coins, it's worth coming to rob us. If it's all full of pennies, no one's going to bother.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's the only. Again, I don't think that's a valid.
But again, that's just common. That's just, we know how many £2 are there. To be honest, most likely we know there's about 10 million.
Oh no, you said we know how much is there. Most likely.
Oh yeah, well,
so
of course, but
we don't know.
But you know, all you have to do is we haven't found any. I've not seen anyone find any 2021 or 2022 Britannia £2. So we know that they're probably in the long store.
How do we know they're not sat at a cash centre?
That's true. Yeah.
Again, I'm playing devil's advocate.
But we know that the Royal Mint.
Mint.
We know that the Royal Mint keeps a backup all the time, so we know there must be some in there.
Mm-hmm. Or the other thing of devil's advocate, maybe there's something in there they don't want to talk about.
I feel like if that was the case, they would have done it on a commercial exemption rather than a crime exemption.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is maybe there is something really, really exciting in there that's definitely worth going to rob.
Oh, what, like gold or like £100 coins or...
Yeah.
Maybe
£1 million coin sat in a long store.
Could you imagine? That'd be exciting. And
I guarantee it'd have a rubbish design though.
Text on a coin, yeah. They said that there was around £1 billion worth of pound coins during when they changed.
And the
pound.
preparation for the changeover.
So, that could have been,
Yeah, all those time travels could go back in time to 2015, 2016 and start robbing the Royal Mint.
But surely they would have known, that, like, the fact that the public would have known there was a lot of pound coins in there, or any potential thieves.
Yeah, like I say, maybe the risk is something that we don't know and we can't foresee. Maybe there is something that they can't confess to have. Maybe they got aliens in their Gracie. Maybe that's where they store them. That's the last place you go looking if you're looking for extraterrestrial conspiracies. The long store of the Royal Mint. Yeah.
What I will do is I've requested them to reevaluate the request, just taking into account those points, and they also said that they don't think that the topic. That's another thing they said actually. Sorry, they said, we do not believe that there is. Let's have a look. We do not, however, believe this is a case where the public interest arguments in favour of disclosing the withheld information are persuasive. So, yeah, essentially they're saying there's no public interest. But I said, well, there's however many people watch this video, probably lots of your viewers would like it. So I said, yeah, I know there's definitely interest in it.
I think, are we misunderstanding what in the public interest means?
Oh yeah, they also go on to say that public interest in the sense that this is not a case involving a particular policy decision which will have a widespread or significant impact on the public.
Yeah.
Furthermore, there is no suspicion of wrongdoing on the part of the public authority. So I understand that. But
they're not covering up anything by saying that, or are they? Maybe they are. Maybe that's what the security concern is. Maybe it's empty.
It depends what your interpretation of the public interest is, though. My interpretation is, if there's more than about 3 people that would actually be interested in it.
But again, it doesn't. What your opinion of what the public interest means is irrelevant. That's like this whole argument about legal tender. Are coins legal tender for paying your parking fine? But just because you have an opinion on what you think legal tender means doesn't mean that that's what legal tender means.
Of course, but legal tender is defined in law, though. But is public interest
as will public interest be under the Freedom of Information Act?
Is it?
It's got to be. They wouldn't have just some woolly in the public interest. I'm sure that would be defined. In some sort of way, and watching you Google and read it is not going to be the next exciting topic.
Well, the first thing that's come up on Google says public interest refers to the welfare and general well-being of society as a whole. Right, so I get that. That's fair. But yeah, we'll see what they have to say.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what's your opinion on what's in the public interest is. That there will be a legal definition that will narrow it down, so you can't just say, "Well, I'm interested and I'm the public, so I want to know." It won't work like that. But yeah, it's a shame. Again, I think that is really interesting information that will be really cool to know.
Yeah.
What the actual physical contents of the long story is, so that we can sort of see. Year by year, what movement there's been. Have we had the same £2 coins just sat in there since 2016?
That's it. Are there Kew Gardens in there?
They're not going to be Kew Gardens in there, are
Why not?
Oh, they've been so many different 50p since.
I know. What if there's just like a crate you know, at the top in the corner somewhere, but no, they forgot about that one. Oh.
I must admit, it is like, because I know the Royal Mint VIP tour, having been on one, you get to see a lot more than you do on the standard tour. You used to be able to go over to the Royal Mint Museum, which sounds really interesting. Unfortunately, you couldn't when I went, and I don't believe you can still now on the VIP tour. But the one place I would love to go is that long store.
Yeah.
I would be unbelievably fascinated by it. And I was thinking about, it's not a security risk taking people in there, because these coins are on crates all up the walls. It's not like there's open boxes of coins you can just dip your hands and fill your pockets with, and they've got all the security and stuff. What would be the problem is that is the long store is the treasury's room. They have to get permission from the treasury to go into there.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not the place you could possibly go on a VIP tour. Although I think it'd be very, very cool to go there.
Yeah. And you have to have a degree almost in abseiling.
Yeah, I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah.
The people that work in there can abseil, because obviously the boxes are stacked so high. Although maybe they're not at the moment, but because things haven't been shifting out there. That's part of the reason we're not getting anything new for circulation.
Have we seen any other definitives?
I had a message from someone who found a 2021. Oh, I sent it to you as well. Was it a penny or a 2 penny? The 2 pence.
2021. Oh, so not like a new definitive, not like a Charles definitive.
Oh, sorry, a 2024 dated one. I don't know what year it was.
Oh, right.
It was a 2024 copper. I can't remember if it's a penny or a 2 pence. But I did send a follow-up message after saying, "Oh, that's really exciting." Saying, "Can you just have a feel of the edges? Does it feel quite sharp and crisp, more so than a
bit thicker than the normal one?"
I didn't ask if it's thicker because it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, the BU ones are obviously, the edges are much sharper, and that's quite easy to tell.
Yeah.
And I did get the response to say it does feel a lot sharper than a normal circulated coin. So I think that is probably a brilliant uncirculated one that's entered circulation somehow, rather than being a 2024 circulating coin.
Yeah, no, I probably would tend to agree.
Yeah, my alarm bell started ringing because we haven't seen any 2023 dated ones yet. So why would we see 2024 dated ones?
I feel like also if they were actually released, it would be more widespread. You'd see a couple people finding them.
Well, someone's got to be the first one to find it, but that could have been the first one found of an onslaught of people that messaged me saying, "I found this definitive and that definitive."
Yeah.
So yeah, in the comments, if you have found one of the new definitive designs other than the 50 pence, which a few of us have been finding, we want to know what you found, where you found it, what's the date on it, and is it a really sharp-edged BU coin, or is it a circulated?
I found a couple of salmon 50p's now. I think I found maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, I'm still on 2.
Yeah, I had a couple turn up the other day.
There we go.
On my stream. Do you know what else turned up as well?
Go on, tell the viewers.
Well, actually, I wasn't going to mention the NIFCs, but since you mention it, quite a few NIFCs in my last 2 streams. Go and check those out.
Very good, very good.
Just buzzing to find those. But obviously, I wasn't going to mention that. What I was actually going to say was King Charles banknotes.
Yes, I saw my first one in the flesh at the weekend.
So I was in the bank getting my coins, and because it was easier, I was transferring some money from one account to the other, and I just withdrew the cash to actually, transfer the money, and out pops a Charles £20 note, and I was like, "Oh, very nice indeed." Actually, I think it was 2 of them, and the frustration was, I then obviously took the money out, and obviously decided then not to, pay that money, and I just transferred some more money over because I wanted to keep the notes. And they were both consecutive serial numbers. Oh. So it was like it ended in 41, 42.
Yeah.
I've then got my coins out, gone back to the ATM, been like, "Oh, I might get like a few, like maybe 5, 6 of them," and then they come out all consecutive, but missing one from before. There's someone had used the machine between the time that I was there. So yeah, I had 41, 42, and then 44, 45, 46, 47.
There we go.
But I went again and got some nice low ones. EH11, and I've got a set of 8. Set of 8 of them.
Yeah, well, I saw them because I was at the bank and someone was trying to pay them into the ATM deposit machine, and they were being rejected as counterfeit ones.
Yeah. It's
So
always
it
going
was
to take
kind
a
of
bit
cool
of time
thing.
for them to iron it out.
Again, my mother sent me a picture of her first King Charles £20 banknotes. It's probably because we're not used to seeing it yet, but it does look a bit like a fake note, doesn't it? Like Monopoly money or fantasy
I know
money.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Because we're not used to seeing King Charles on our banknotes.
I have thought that this is the first time that lots of the general public will ever see Charles on money. Because don't get me wrong, that like memorial 50p's and stuff are common, but they're not like an everyday thing for most people with the coins. So I think that the banknotes is going to be the first time that most people will ever have seen Charles on money.
Yeah, but I guess how quickly will it take over? Because we've got polymer banknotes which last longer now, because the old cotton ones would only last a year before having been replaced. So they would, the Queen Elizabeth II banknotes would have started disappearing by now. If we were still using cotton notes, because we've got polymer ones which last longer, how long will we be seeing the Queen
I
on our
still
banknotes
think
regularly
that
for?
there's going to be a mixture of both. I reckon that very quickly it will become a case of you'll just see both much more common than you see with the coins.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be much quicker than with the coins, because I mean coins can last 30-40 years in circulation. Unless we start revamping the coins like we did in 2016 for the pound coin. But yeah, I've just in the time we've prattled on for far long enough, I think.
Oh,
now.
we have. I've just honestly, it's the quickest. I thought we were still like 5 minutes in. Yeah, no bit.
It helps when you have topics to come to the show with, Gracie.
I know, always have topics. But yeah, let's go back to the 20p's, see what we managed to find. Okay, so we've managed to find 2 territories. We found 2 from Gibraltar. So this one, 2007, some sort of keychain, and then we've got the Lady of Europa from 2003. So yeah, those are pretty cool. We also got this really, really damaged one, which I can just about make out the IRB portrait, but yeah, I don't think that's anything too special, but there we go. And then we just got a really nice shiny 1982, which looks pretty shinier than you would expect for 1982. But yeah, make sure you go and check out Christopher's video as well. Hope you've enjoyed. Leave a like, all that stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.